in incredible times.
We are the sector of sectors.
Artificial intelligence, big data will be the future of our industries, all industries.
Countries that are going to thrive are the ones that have that ability to get technology and produce technology.
We need to make artificial intelligence human.
Everything is and will be connected.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this special live broadcast as part of Mobile World Live's themed week preview of the big MWC show in just a few weeks' time. My name is Justin Springham. I'm delighted to have your company today. Thank you for joining us. Now, over the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be revealing the most anticipated list ahead of every MWC Barcelona. Yes, it's the GLOMO Awards shortlist announcement for 2022. I know there are a lot of you eagerly watching to find out if you've taken a step closer to winning one of those coveted GLOMOs. Well, we are back to business and we are back to MWC Barcelona this year. The show will run from the 28th of February to the 3rd of March, which is just over 1 month away. So if you're not ready to join us, now is the time to get yourself and your colleagues booked. And to help you get ready, well, we're offering a 30% discount on any past purchases made this week to attend the show in person. Just use the codes on the screen now to get that 30% discount when you purchase your pass. Well, let's get to the matter in hand, shall we? And the GLOMO's shortlists. I am delighted to be joined by two familiar expert faces and a fresh new member of our judging panel for the awards this year. First up, we have Sean Collins. Sean is chairman of CCS Insight and head judge of the GLOMOs, and he's joined by Carolina Milanese. Carolina is president and principal analyst at Creative Strategies. And we also have first-time judge Kim Arrington-Johnson. Kim is principal analyst at ABI Research. Sean, Carolina, Kim, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Justin.
Good morning.
Thank you, Justin.
Great to have your company today. Now, before we reveal the shortlists, it does seem somewhat prudent to take a quick moment to reflect on the past year and how this has impacted our industry. Sean, this, of course, is the second GLOMO Awards in one calendar year. I'm not sure that's ever actually happened before, but it has been an intense year, of course, an intense year of change for many sectors. Have we seen innovation and progress through this year between the submissions? I mean, did you get a sense of that when you went through the judging process?
I think it reflects the speed of the change that we're seeing in our industry. And yes, we did. We saw a good deal of innovation, a good deal of difference. We saw some things in there which we saw iterations rather than big moves forward on, clearly. It's only been 7 or 8 months since the last time we did GLOMOs. But nonetheless, we were very encouraged by what we saw as a good level of entries and some really exciting elements to those entries, which I think we'll reflect on in a few minutes.
Carolina, you've been involved in judging the GLOMOs for a few years, but what's changed or maybe moved on for you this year?
I thought there was more sense of purpose. If you're looking at the fact that, it's industry analysts and press and people that do technology every day that pick a lot of the nominees in this list, we were looking for, yes, innovation, but purposeful innovation. Saying that word before coffee is really hard, by the way. And I saw that. There's been a lot of innovation aimed at making life better, at really solving issues and improving quality of life for everybody, not just for an elite. And I think that, maybe we needed a pandemic to get people to pay more attention to everybody in the world. And it's certainly exciting to see that you can do good while doing well from a business perspective.
Thanks, Carolina. And Kim, as a newcomer, I mean, what struck you about the entries this year?
Well, good question, Justin. So I judged the best mobile innovation for Climate Action Award this year, and kind of a few themes really resonated with me. You know, first of all, it's been said that 2021 is the year that company sustainability went mainstream, and we really saw that in this category. And, you know, rather than just offering a single product in the category, I think we saw operators and network suppliers kind of working together to promote these end-to-end green networks, stakeholder networks, as Carolina alluded to. So inclusive, you know, from the massive MIMO energy efficiency upgrades to manufacturing practices to AI-enabled software across the networks. Now, this doesn't mean that you can just label everything that you manufacture as green, right? And that's not the purpose. But again, we're just seeing that sustainability is being considered kind of in every aspect of the industry, from energy efficiency to e-waste to reduction to linking 5G with IoT to cut energy usage and reduce carbon emissions for customers. So we're really seeing sustainability incorporated in a lot of these decisions being made.
Thank you, Kim. So I know our audience are eagerly wanting to know if they have been shortlisted. So I think it's time we let them know. The first category is the Tech for Good category. We've actually got 5 awards in this category, and this category applauds the companies who work tirelessly to ensure that no one gets left behind in the journey to true connectivity. The first award that we're going to announce the shortlist for is the Best Mobile Innovation for Emerging Markets. And the shortlist is Girl Effect Enterprise for Big Sis, your virtual big sister on demand. Knowledge Platform for bridging digital divide in education. Orange and Braystorn for Braystorn's range of digital services, including the M-Agri service. Safaricom and Huawei for Feliza, an overdraft service. And StarLogic for StarZro. Congratulations to those companies there. Next up, we have the award for Best Mobile Innovation supporting emergency or humanitarian situations. The shortlist is BlackNet for its Guard Stack portfolio, enabling instant broadband services in disaster situations. Dialog Axiata for its 1390 integrated national healthcare solution. Ericsson for its mission-critical 5G deployable network solution. Hormud Telecoms for the Wafi app. And Unmanned Life for its autonomous search and rescue drone operations. Congratulations to all 5. Next, we have the award for Best Mobile Innovation for Accessibility and Inclusion. And the shortlist is made up of 3 prospects. Etisalat Group for Etisalat Wider Web. Huawei for Huawei Intelligent Information Accessibility. And SK Telecom and Tuat for their AI-based visual assistant service, Sullivan Plus X Nuju. Congratulations to the trio. For Best Mobile Innovation for Climate Action, the shortlist is China Mobile and Huawei for their Green 5G project, KT for its 5G network power-saving technology, Orange for Neverleaf, Telefonica and Ericsson for Green Radio, that's an intelligence software solution for energy optimization, and ZTE for its Green Native initiative to reduce end-to-end ICT carbon emissions. And the final award in the Tech for Good category is Outstanding Mobile Contribution to the UN SDGs. The shortlist of 5 is Ericsson for its air quality monitoring project in India, the Ghana Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, Ghanaian Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, and Huawei for addressing digital gaps to support SDGs in Ghana, Knowledge Platform for bridging digital divide in education, Qualcomm for Qualcomm Wireless Reach, and Hapanoi for Hapanoi Mobile Business Hubs, and Safaricom closed the gap, and Huawei for their DigiTruck project. Congratulations to those 5. So yes, let's have a quick review of the Tech for Good category. I mean, as we said earlier in the introductions, I think that category in particular kind of came into its own more than ever over the past year. Kim, you judged the entries in the Best Mobile Innovation for Climate Action Award. What stood out for you there, and perhaps across the wider Tech for Good category?
Right. So I think it's really great seeing all these products developed for good. And as we mentioned, it's especially beneficial when doing good and doing well financially overlap. And certainly that's what all of these companies that are participating today are looking for. You know, I talked earlier about seeing stakeholder networks in the category, addressing people and planet, not just profit. Who are we connecting, and how are the networks that we're connecting impacting the environment? So those are considerations. Another set of interesting products kind of in this category are the smartphones being manufactured for sustainability. They're using eco-design, recycled plastic. They're considering design. They're also being built to last longer, for a longer lifetime, and the right to repair. And better yet, the price point of these products are coming down, such as the Niva by Orange, as you mentioned, and also the Fairphone. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But, you know, the price points are coming down for these products to be inclusive for everyone.
So we're going to move, thank you, Kim. We're going to move from tech for good to mobile tech in general. Now, networks and technology, of course, are at the epicenter of mobile innovation. And this category, the mobile tech category, recognizes the companies that are revolutionizing the capabilities and reach of mobile and digital technology. We're going to be announcing the shortlist for 6 awards in this category. And first up, we have the Best Mobile Network Infrastructure Award. And the shortlist for this award is AT&T, Ericsson, and Ubiquay for Ericsson Street Radio. Ericsson for its ultra-lightweight Massive MIMO 6419 platform. Huawei for new creative Meta AAU. Huawei for its new FDD Gigaband MIMO modules. And Nokia for its 7250 interconnect routers. In the Best Mobile Technology Breakthrough Award, the shortlist is Huawei for 5G distributed massive MIMO in indoor small cells. Huawei for 5G RAN intelligence. Huawei again for Meta AAU technological breakthrough ELAA and AHR Turbo. And Huawei for its new FDD Gigaband MIMO technology. Samsung Networks is shortlisted for its fully virtualized 5G RAN solution. And Turkcell and Red Hat are shortlisted for their cloud-native AI innovation. Congratulations to those companies. For Best Network Software Breakthrough, the shortlist is Mavenir for its open virtualized RAN. MTN Group and Huawei for their autonomous driving network solution. NEC and Netcracker for Open RAN automation. Rakuten Mobile for 5G Open RAN. And Red Hat for Red Hat OpenShift. In the Best Digital Tech Breakthrough for companies with under $10 million annual global revenue, we have a short list of 4. Accelercom for 5G physical layer IP for Open RAN that maximizes spectral efficiency. NG Voice for revolutionizing voice with a fully cloud-native and containerized solution. Ontix for Metro Hall, delivering multi-operator, neutral host 4G and 5G ready connectivity across the heart of London. And Summa Networks for VoLTE in a box. That's a simple solution for small carriers to go VoLTE and voice over Wi-Fi. Congratulations to those 4 shortlisted companies. In the best mobile authentication and security solution category, the shortlist is Adaptive Mobile Security for the world's first unified 5G network security solution, Nokia for NetGuard XDR security operations, Orange for Cyber Filter, Vion Group for Mobile ID, and Zariat for empowering end-to-end IoT ecosystem security. And finally, in this category, we have the very popular 5G Industry Partnership Award. The shortlist is Accenture and Tim Brazil for 5G quality inspection use cases in Stellantis Automotive Pole in Brazil, China Mobile, CISA and Huawei for enabling digital transformation and innovative 5G services in the steel industry, China Unicom Beijing and Huawei for 5G Capital's Meta Life on Giga Society, ZTE and 5G Smart Metallurgy Alliance for carbon neutralization in the electrolytic aluminium industry, and ZTE, China Unicom and Housing and Urban Rural Development Bureau of Laocheng for 5G intelligent construction site projects. Some incredible tech innovation on show there. This is always one of the most popular categories. Sean, I know you're a tech man, an infrastructure man. What stood out for you there in the best mobile tech categories?
Yeah, I think you're right. This is a category, I think, where we start to see a lot of the themes emerge, which we are forerunners of what we'll see at MWC, I think. So I think sustainability, we're seeing the development of compute within our networks, the ability to be able to drive software into our hardware networks and give them, excuse me, an agility to be able to deliver the kind of solutions that our industries, our individuals and our societies are asking of us. I think it's going to be really one of the most hotly contested of the categories and the awards that we're going to see over the next 2 or 3 weeks in terms of that is. I always think of this category in a variety of ways, but I always think of it as scale. I think of it as security and trust, I guess, understanding that we feel comfortable on those networks. And scale, by the way, on both sides, small and large, because what we're trying to do is encourage our industry to reflect on the smaller companies and the innovation that they're bringing, because this isn't just the big guys who are being able to develop these things. We're seeing a democratization of innovation, which we haven't seen for a while, and 5G has offered us that. And then I think understanding a little bit more about how we can make sustainability much more part of that conversation, because we have a responsibility in our industry, because it is so ubiquitous, to make sure that the weight that it delivers on our society from a sustainability point of view is certainly no heavier and hopefully lighter for more innovation, for more services and for more delivery. And so those are the kind of themes we expect to see emerge in a few weeks' time in Barcelona. And I think the last one I would say is that we're seeing this collision of compute and connectivity really start to accelerate this year as 5G, the real 5G, some people would call it, starts to emerge. And you'll start to see some of that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes in Industry X, but we start to see a lot more of that as well. So yeah, a very exciting one, this one, I think.
Thanks, Sean. As you say, we will talk a little bit more about that in Industry X. But next up, we have our only award in the Outstanding Achievement category, which is open for submissions. This one, timely, rewards the best innovation for COVID-19 pandemic response and recovery over the past year. And we have a short list of 5. The shortlist for the best innovation for COVID-19 pandemic response and recovery over the past year. The first one is the Faculty of Medicine Siriraj Hospital, MBTC and Huawei for 5G and F5G plus cloud-powered smart healthcare innovation in Thailand for COVID-19. We have Huawei for EI Health, COVID-19 drug mass screening. SK Telecom and Omron Electronics Korea for its 5G-powered disinfection robot Kimi. Telit and Controlant for cellular IoT rollout for COVID-19 vaccine distribution. And VirusSite Diagnostic for fastest pathogens diagnoses. So that is the shortlist for the Outstanding Achievement Best Innovation for COVID-19 Pandemic Response and Recovery. I'm intrigued to know, judges, just how many roughly entries we had for that and what the process was like in terms of getting that down, because obviously 2 years ago we wouldn't have been having this conversation. But tell us a little bit, I don't know who wants to take this, but tell us a little bit about the judging process for this. Sean, I don't know, maybe we can start with you. How difficult was it to get this down to the shortlist of 5? And you know, how representative of it is the 5 of the whole submission process?
Well, very difficult is the short answer, Justin. We had a really good level of entries into this, as we'd expect. I really hope that both our societies and our regulators and our government remember the contribution that connectivity and telecoms has made during the last 2.5 years. But I think also the addition of being able to say the diversity of solution that you're seeing around being able to develop what comes after this and after this last 2.5 years. And hopefully we are at least seeing the end of the beginning, if not the end of it, you know. Hopefully that's the case as we start to move forward. That we are able to contribute in so many other ways as we start to develop our preemptive and warning systems for what, God forbid, this ever happens again. And the treatment systems that we've seen where 5G and our technology has been able to contribute significantly, whether that's something as simple as pandemic tech or something much more vital as organization of vaccinations and so forth. So I think this is a really, really important award. We were very proud to be able to reflect on that in the last 2 years, and I feel no different about it this year.
Carolina, any comments? I assume.
Yeah, I think that for me the exciting thing about the nomination and what you see displayed there in the long list that we went through is that innovation is truly a worldwide affair. We've had, you know, candidates from all over the world. And to me, that speaks to what Sean was saying about how the technology industry came together to solve, you know, real problem in a very timely manner under circumstances that were extremely hard, because we need to remember how we have been working over the past 2 years. So I think that shows the resilience of the industry, but also shows that we actually can move mountains when we set our head to it, right? And so I'm hoping that this willingness to make a difference in the world will stay with organizations and really looking at technologies like 5G, AI, cloud, to really make a difference in the economy, in our health service, in financial accessibility. So there's so many societal positive impact that technology can have. And seeing this as the time where many consumers across the world might have doubts as far as whether technology is good or not is absolutely refreshing.
Thanks, Carolina. Should we move? We have the Industry X category, and we have 4 awards to get through with the Industry X category. Now, as technology continues to fuse the boundaries between physical and digital, this category, Industry X, recognizes the brands that are winning in creating services that are at the forefront of this digital shift. And our first award for Best Mobile Operator Service for the Connected Customer sees a short list of... We have 5 here. We have Bell Mobility for TSN 5G View, Korea's KT for AI Smart Space DX, Telkomsel and ZTE for intelligent closed-loop optimization of mobile user experience with cloud sourcing, TPG Telecom and Nokia for building Australia's smartest network, and Vion Group for mobile ID. Congratulations to those 5. In the Best Mobile Innovation for Connected Economy Award, the shortlist is Midea Group, Huawei and China Unicom for smart warehouse logistics empowered by 5G positioning, Tianjin Port, Huawei and China Mobile for Port Renaissance. Intelligent Twin empowers a smart green Tianjin port. And ZTE for its end-to-end 5G time-sensitive networking for Green Grid. Congratulations to those three. The Best Mobile Innovation for the Connected Human Award has a shortlist of the following. Athena for connected end-to-end patient care. Huawei for 5G smart healthcare lights up Hainan Healthy Island. KT for AI care service. And Samsung Electronics for the bioactive sensor on Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 and Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. The final award in the Industry X category is for Best Mobile Innovation for Connected Living. The shortlist is Etisalat Group for Etisalat Smiles Internet of Loyalties, PLDT Global Corporation for Freebie app, Safaricom for its M-Pesa app, and SK Telecom for innovative metaverse service Ifland. I knew we had to get a reference to metaverse somewhere in the awards. So that is the Industry X category. Kim, just some thoughts there on some of the brands and the creative services that we've just talked through. Anything stand out for you from Industry X?
Sure. You know, this category is very interesting. Kind of what it says to me is that 5G, kind of in addition to the technologies that it advances, like Internet of Things, edge computing, automation, AI analytics, that this is a huge source of not only potential revenue for the industry, but also just in problem solving capability for those in the industry. And kind of as the number of these connected things increases, the potential for a wide variety of use cases also is massive, and that's in manufacturing, robotics, agriculture, automotive, utilities. You know, the applications are really only limited by our own creativity.
Thanks, Kim. Carolina, anything else stand out for you?
Yeah, I think from a connectivity perspective, we also always focus about connection between human and human. But more and more is about human and machine. And I think going forward, it would be machine to machine. And if you take in an example of an industry like health services, and you see how much something like wearables have really changed the way that we interact with our own health. We have taken much more control of the data that these devices are producing so that we can truly understand the impact that everything we do, from sleep to exercise to what we eat, has on our health. And that's the first step, is awareness, and then how that information that we have as consumers changes the relationship that we have with our doctors and service providers, right, from a health service perspective. And I think that that's what is, for me, fascinating, is the tons of data that these connected devices are going to generate, and how that data is going to empower better information and really drive a different kind of behaviors, not just from a consumer perspective, but from a B2B and B2C point of view.
I couldn't agree more with Carolina actually on that, and also some of the things that Kim said as well. And I think that this category for me always is one of the more interesting ones from the sheer breadth of it. I think it shows this idea that connectivity and telecoms in particular touches almost every part of our society now, and just the sheer breadth and depth of this always amazes me. Just how many areas in our world we're now starting to become a part of, and I think that that's really, really going to be interesting, because one of the other major themes, which I think this kind of surfaces a little bit, we're going to see in Barcelona in 3 or 4 weeks' time, whenever it is this idea around use cases becoming much, much more important in understanding the value of 5G. And while we've talked a lot about use cases up to now, the fact that we've had 5G live in many parts of the world now for a couple of years, and the emergence of 5G SA, which is what, as I said earlier, some people call the real 5G, you know, the ultra reliable, low latency, high capacity, high coverage networks. start to become real, we start to see those tests emerge in these kind of areas. And I think that could be one of the really big themes that emerges out of Barcelona in a few weeks' time.
Well, shall we move on to the final shortlist? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be announcing the device category next. Always a high point of MWC Barcelona. This category, of course, well, it represents the pinnacle of consumer-focused technology, innovation, design excellence, outstanding performance, and market leadership. First up, we have the GLOMO for the best smartphone. And the shortlist is comprised of 5 smartphones. We have the Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max, the Google Pixel 6 Pro, and then Samsung for its Galaxy S21 Ultra, its Z Flip 3, and its Z Fold 3. So that is the shortlist of 5 for the GLOMO for best smartphone. Carolina, this is always a category that you are very excited by, very heavily involved in. How has the smartphone market evolved over the past, well, I would normally say year or so, but this time around it's 8 or 9 months since we last had the GLOMOs. But give us a little bit of an indication as to where, is there any major trends that stand out for you here with these shortlist of 5 smartphones?
Yeah, the first consideration is, as you rightly point out, is always exciting, to judge this category, which I think underlines this is something that we continue to see a lot of innovation in, and also that the smartphone remains as one of the most loved, if not the most loved product with consumers, despite over the past year, talking a lot about PCs because of the kind of world that we lived in. If you look at the list here, you really can easily see the big trends in the market. One is foldable, as 2 of the devices point out, as the future of smartphones. Google is really pushing on this, Samsung, but we've seen also other players like Oppo and Huawei bring foldables to market, Motorola, of course. And I think that the innovation that is coming in this category is very fast-paced. We are continuing to see really great innovation, and we'll see in a minute a little bit more of what makes a great foldable, from the display to the hinges and the overall design of how you take advantage of the larger screen. It's not just more real estate, it's being smart about using that real estate that we have. And the other one that you see in the list here, either in an obvious way or maybe a dotted line, is cameras. Whether it is from a Pixel 6 perspective, where you're talking about chipset and AI and computational photography, or when you're looking at the iPhone 13 Pro and you're looking at the new cinematic mode, which is a new way of shooting movies. The reality is phones have become this tool, not just of creating content for a lot of people. And this is not just Gen Zers. This is also, grandparents shooting their kids at parties and whatnot. And obviously over COVID, when we couldn't be with our loved ones, it was also connecting with video, and so using the front camera to do video calls. But it's also become the way that we consume the content that we produce. So you're creating a loop in a way with these devices about content end to end, creating and consuming. So these were some of the things that we saw come through in pretty much all the list of the devices that we entertain for the short list.
Thank you, Carolina. We're going to keep the conversation on devices going, and we'll come back to you very shortly, because next up we have the Disruptive Device Innovation Awards. And very much like the Best Smartphone Award, entries were not required for this award. This is purely based on our judges' expert opinion. So we have a short list of 5 for the Disruptive Device Innovation Award. Apple tags. We have Fairphone 4, Google Tensor chip, Oppo for its hinge and display integration on the Find N, and the Samsung Foldable. So that is the 5 shortlisted products for the Disruptive Device Innovation Award. And we also have our final category announcement today, which is for the best connected consumer device. And we have a shortlist of 4 for the best connected consumer device. The shortlist is Huawei for Huawei VR Glass, Microld for Active Look AR connected glasses, Vodafone Smart Tech for Neo, and ZTE for its next-gen cloud AI home security Camera Pro. Congratulations to those 4. So a couple more awards shortlisted entries there. Carolina, if I can come back to you, the Disruptive Device Innovation Award, as I said, that is based purely on the expertise of our judges. We had 5 companies there: Apple, Fairphone, Google, Oppo, and Samsung. What did the shortlisted entries do right there then to get themselves on that chart?
So one of the criteria is the impact that their innovation is having on the market, and the opportunity long-term on the market, is making a contribution, not just from an innovation perspective, but also a positive impact in different ways, like Fairphone does from a sustainability perspective. And if you're looking at the category, it's interesting, reflecting on it as I was preparing for this morning, to see that it's pretty much ticking off all the other categories where we talked about. There's connectivity there with AirTags and how you connecting human with things or things with things. You have foldables, and so technologies, even in the hinges or in the display, and you have sustainability. So it is, for us, it was important to highlight companies that continue to drive forward the smartphone and the connected device world in more than one way. And I think Fairphone is a fantastic example of that, because it's a small company that really put the goal of delivering something that is sustainable, but also is, pleasing to the eye from a design perspective. It's not a compromised experience when it comes to the feature set that it has, and is really truly making it much easier for a consumer who wants to make a difference and pick something that is sustainable and good for the planet to make that choice. Because even from a price point perspective, is priced absolutely competitively. So really thinking about the business model end to end to make a difference.
And Sean, of course, we're all consumers at heart, aren't we? So we all love this particular category.
Well, I think the major point is that almost everybody has a smartphone. So, if I say I'm working in the mobility and connectivity industry, the first thing I get asked is, what phone do you use? And not what's 5G like or what 4G is like. So when you ask somebody about this, it's like asking somebody about, your favorite football team. Everybody's got an opinion, which is great. So it always captures the imagination. These categories always capture the imagination more publicly. And it's really exciting to see that. I would also call out Fairphone, and I know Kim's going to talk about it in a second, I think, too, and in the sense that they have taken a purpose which is around sustainability and contribution back into the environment and made it the centerpiece of who and what they are as a business. They're a small business, but nonetheless, they're making an impact. And again, I would say, I noticed on, I think, Friday, Tim Höttges, who's the CEO of Deutsche Telekom, used it as his centerpiece for discussing and reflecting on Deutsche Telekom's contribution to the sustainability for their organization as one of the areas that they were talking about. So I think they're getting fantastic coverage, and it's to their credit that they are. That's not to say that people like Apple and Samsung and others aren't also understanding that they have responsibility for us and for our environment and for our goals sustainably, both for our societies and for them as a business. But I think these guys are challenging them. They're nibbling at their feet, and I think that they're getting a good amount of traction. I really like it, and I think it's really interesting. It's one of the more interesting areas we've got in smartphones right now.
Right.
Judges, we've got a couple of minutes left. I think it would be good to kind of close out on some reflections overall of how the awards has evolved and developed, and hopefully very much reflected developments in our industry over the last 8 or 9 months. Kim, this was the first time you've been involved in the GLOMOs. Hopefully you'll be back with us next year as well. But what will be your takeaways now that we've been through all of the shortlisted? What are your kind of key reflections from this year's GLOMOs?
Well, thank you very much, Justin. And it's been a pleasure to sit on this panel with such intelligent and articulate panelists. So I really appreciate the opportunity to share this time with you and to, just discuss the amazing opportunities that this industry and again, the connectivity and the way that this industry has changed the world is pretty amazing. So, and as Carolina mentioned earlier, I really liked her introduction in the beginning. We're seeing that the business strategies and these products are really being built with a higher sense of purpose. And we look forward to seeing where all of this connectivity and innovation takes us in the future. So I really appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for letting me be here. And congratulations to all the shortlist winners.
Thank you, Kim. Great words. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we go, Sean, I'd let you wrap up as well. But we should also point out, actually, that there are a few other awards that will be presented on site as well. I don't know if you want to give those a quick flag for us. The CTO Choice Award, correct, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. So the CTO Choice Award is the award that is the winner of the winners in the mobile tech category. It's probably the blue ribbon of all the awards. And it's chosen by 22 this year, 22 CTOs from mobile and communication companies around the world. The winners of the 6 awards in there are the only entrants that can be considered. We announced that on the Wednesday, is it the 1st, I think, or the 2nd of March? I should know that, of course, at 11 o'clock and in the morning, and I'm looking forward to doing that. There are some other awards which recognize both individuals and organizations who have made a significant contribution this year as well, and we'll see more of that when we're in Barcelona. And I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm delighted to say I hope that we'll all be in Barcelona. Fingers crossed, health matters being as they are. And I'm really excited to get back down there after we were down there last year, down there just in June, and seeing everybody in the face-to-face again.
Thanks, Sean. I remember we had a truly hybrid experience, you and I, because I interviewed you in person on site one day and then via Zoom the next. So that's right. But this year you'll be fully on site.
Fully on site. I'm there almost for a week, actually. Almost for a
Brilliant
week.
Stuff. Great news. Well, thank you very much for joining us and obviously being so involved in your position as head of judges, Sean. Carolina, final thoughts?
I would say that, for people like us who breathe and live technology every day, it's very easy sometimes to get a little bit jaded. And yet, I think the industry is so vibrant, and there's so, not just from an innovation perspective, but just perseverance and hard work and is very amazing to really see that we're doing this award list and short list. Was it 9 months? Not even. From the last one. And, these categories are all new categories. This is innovation that's happened that we are able to highlight in just 9 months. The cycle of innovation is getting shorter. And while there are some technologies like 5G, and, I love Sean pointing out real 5G. Yes, we've been talking about it for a while, but these are long-term, big impact technologies, not just the technology per se, is all the infrastructure, from a legal perspective, from a city infrastructure perspective, that needs to come along with the technology. And so the impact that we have from a connectivity perspective is absolutely humongous now compared to before. And yeah, we might still end up getting excited about talking about smartphones, but there's so much more that connectivity really enables and empowers today.
Great message. Thank you very much, Carolina. Well, that does wrap up our announcement program today. The full shortlist is now announced on the MWC website. So if you've missed any of today's action, do head over to MWCBarcelona.com and you can see the full shortlist there. Congratulations, of course, to all of the shortlisted organizations. You will be contacted by the GSMA's GLOMO team to prepare for the ceremony. And talking of the ceremony, as we said earlier, the GLOMO Awards virtual ceremony will take place at, it's going to be midday Central European time on Wednesday, the 2nd of March, 2022. So please do not miss our virtual ceremony during the week of MWC Barcelona. And a quick reminder as well, as I said right at the very beginning, book your passes for MWC Barcelona and 4 years from now this week with the codes that are currently on your screen, and you can enjoy a 30% discount. So with that, well, it just remains for me to thank our guest judges today, Sean, Kim, Carolina. Thank you very much to the three of you. It has been great to get your insight into this year's GLOMO Awards. We will see you and, of course, our audience watching online in a few weeks' time for the virtual ceremony itself and, of course, the big in-person show in Barcelona. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin.
There is a place where tomorrow happens, where the world gathers to reconnect, reimagine, and reinvent, where business gets done and relationships are built, where the new is revealed and the next is nurtured. This place is where connectivity is unleashed. This place is MWC Barcelona. Be here, be together, be connected.